In this video, I want to talk about the Euro New Zealand long trade. It was over here on the right hand side. I want to make this very, very simple for you, okay? As simple as I can. Here on this day, this is basically Monday's trading, okay? This here is Tuesday's trading, okay? Now, on Monday, we can see the market's going down. Very, very easy to identify that little down trend, okay? Now, at some point, this market has turned around. We can see that in hindsight. On Tuesday, we can see that it has turned around and it's gone back above the high of Monday, right? Remember, Monday's over here, okay? And this is Tuesday. So our job is to identify the turning point. Can we see this market come down, identify that it's perhaps turning around to try and benefit from this move up, okay? That's what I want to talk about. Now, it's not a setup that I'm talking to you in hindsight. This is actually how I trade, and this is actually how I did trade. Okay, you've got plenty of examples on the channel, and I'm going to walk you through this setup, which is a repeating pattern that I have shown many examples of. In fact, if you go back and look at my Euro scalping strategy, I'm going to be using the same technique for entry as what I'm going to show you here. First, let me show you the actual trade journal. Okay, so there it is. It's on your screen, and I'm going to walk you through the actual trade setup and the entry. The exit was right there, okay, just before getting to the high of the previous day close. So you can see the exit there, 1.8, so, and a nice profit, okay? So the reason I show you the actual trade journal is so that you know that it's actually possible, right? That's the only reason I show you. I want to show you that it's possible, it is how I trade, and if I can do it, anybody can do it, okay? But it requires patience, practice, discipline, risk management, capital, tolerance, a whole range of things, mindset. So while it may look easy, there's a whole range of other things that you need to have to be able to be a good trader. But on this channel, I'm teaching you price action behavior. That's the purpose of this channel, okay? So price is moving down, right? And we see that price has stopped moving down, and we see price has now started to move up, right? So on the new day, we see that we're making new highs. Firstly, I've mentioned many times, any move prior to a session is typically false, okay? So let's just look at this piece by piece. This, firstly, is the new day, right? This is Tuesday, as I've mentioned, right? Now, this here is Asia, okay? This is Asia. Asia starts 8 p.m. New York time and finishes 11 p.m. New York time, okay? Now, prior to Asia, we have this little move down. Clearly, that's false because we have this move up. Okay, that also is false because we have a move down back into that. Now, with that move back into the move that was going up prior to the session, we didn't make a new low, meaning that we did not continue to go down. Instead, we started to continue to move up. Okay, that's when I kind of get interested in the market, saying that, okay, well, perhaps we have a turning point here. And I already identify key turning points in the market as I have shown you in my existing videos on the channel. So I like to find these gaps, right? So when the market moves up like that and takes out previous highs on the left, right? This is a high that's taken. This is a high that is taken. For some reason I can't draw there. Okay. And this is very close to a high, hasn't taken it. I can see that perhaps the market is now turning around because they're making higher highs, okay? I then look for, in that move up, this is quite a good move up, this is a 15-minute chart, meaning every candle is 15 minutes, right? Each one of those white candles are 15 minutes. So that's 45 minutes of pumping up, right, prior to the session open. Session meaning this session here, which is Asia on this day, at the start of the trading day, basically, okay? Now, what I want to see is, as that move has gone up, has it left any gaps? And I can clearly see that it has, okay? Here's a gap right there. Okay, and you need to watch my Euro scalping strategy video on this channel that talks about these gaps in more detail. Okay, so I've identified that there is a gap there, and then I'm expecting the market to come back into that gap as it did here and find support, meaning that that move down should not go through all the way to the lows and should hold and be a turning point. And that's what we see on this chart. Okay, so the entry here is this move up, pull back into this gap for a continuation, okay, to the high of that current day, which it has already done. And I've already shown you the exit, which I didn't take all the way to the top. I don't always wait for the move to complete, okay? And now you can see that it's basically starting to consolidate, okay? So very simple pattern, very short video. We're learning about price action. So on your own charts, find any pair and identify turning points where the market has been going down, okay, and you then see it stops going down, maybe starts to go sideways, and that's all happening prior to the session. Can be any session, can be Asia, can be London, can be New York. I've shown you many examples of these occurring in New York, many examples of these setups occurring in London, and this one I want to show you an example of. It can also occur in the Asia time zone, meaning that wherever you are in the world, you can trade in the time zone that is most comfortable to you. If you are in Europe, well, you can trade the London session, or if you are in the US, you can trade the New York session, or if you're in Asia, then you can trade the Asia session. You'll find these setups at all time zones. The key is, as I said at the start of this video, is to be patient and disciplined. You need to wait for the setups to appear, okay? So a nice move in the Euro New Zealand pair, easy setup. You've got a move that's coming down, okay? Then you've got a bit of consolidation, which indicates perhaps a turning point, right? That may not be that easy to identify, but you can certainly identify when prior to the start of the session you have 3 15-minute candles, okay? In this setup, we're looking to go long meaning we want to buy because we're at the low, right? This here is at the low, okay? And so we want to buy at the low. We're very close to the previous day's low. So anything at that level around there is buying at the low. So that's what we want to do. And at the low, we see a pump, 3 15-minute candles in sequence, 45 minutes. It can be 45 minutes to an hour pump. And during that pump, we see it's a lifted gap. Okay, that gap should act as support if we get a move back down into that area. And that's a turning point in the market. Okay, and then on my expectation is that we start to move up. So I want to be a buyer when the market comes inside of that gap. Okay, I've spoken about gaps. Go and look at my Euro scalping strategy video. That's where you'll be able to get some very clear lessons on what a gap is and how to identify them. And then my expectation is that that's a turning point. So now we've had this move this way. So it's a turning point from that gap, and now we should be at a minimum headed back up to the high of the previous, or the high of that day, okay, which is the previous day on this day. Okay, so very simple. Your job is to go and find these on your own charts, on your own computer, and train your brain to identify these in real time. It takes work, it takes practice. You've got to do the exercises, okay? You've got to be able to find these. This video is not really just for entertainment. If you're just watching this for entertainment, not going back, not studying the charts, not looking at them on your own computer and trying to identify these turning points, identify the things that I'm showing you, you're not going to be able to do this in real time. You're not going to be able to learn that which I'm teaching you, which is all about price action behavior, okay? So I hope the video was useful. I will now talk with you in a future video.